Hey guys, welcome back to Sharks Academy. And in today's video, I want to share with you the weekly market analysis moving forward for next week. So before we dive right into the charts, please leave a like and subscribe, right? Turn your alerts on. Show us what you want to see in the comment section below, right? We will be prepping videos. We will be taking more of the suggestions from our community for us to actually build videos to help you guys. Okay, let's dive right into the dollar index. So let me just remove all of these drawings and track the movement. We have a break of structure here. We have a break of structure here. So all of these are basically sideways movement. And honestly speaking, I'm still bearish. I'm still bullish on DXY. Okay, and where am I bullish from? So prices breaks, we tap into some sort of a demand here. We continue to break structure, and now we need a true mitigation. So where can this true mitigation actually occur? This is a potential demand for prices to move off from. So if I want to be bullish on DXY, I want to be bullish here. All right, we are at the extended range of this entire leg. Can you see this movement over here? This is extended. Currently, prices are trading above this high, right? And then I want to see a pullback before moving higher. So right now, we are of course sideways for a dollar index. And let's say we see a breakout from here. Then we have a new demand area that is formed. Okay, so right now, there's no clear direction. I would say overall still long-term bullish for DXY based on this framework. Otherwise, currently sideways. So do take note when you are trading the trending market. If you're looking at it as a trendy market for the dollar pairs, then you want to take note of your indicators or your expert advisors, right? Whether or not this period over here, maybe on the 4 hours, whether this ranging market is good for your strategy. So on the weekly time frame for Aussie dollar, we are likely to move into this liquidity high, right? So let's say we see a break out of this level. Immediately, I want to be a buyer at this demand. Okay, you can use the sell to buy wick or the entire zone. Okay, so this is the entire demand area on the weekly. So when prices taps into this level, you are likely to look for buys. And of course, this is on the weekly time frame. The entire framework here is so huge. Prices can indeed tap in, reacts, break down, reacts, break down, reacts, break down, reacts, break down, reacts before moving higher. And how many times do you want to get caught inside here? It really depends on the framework you're working with, because if you are trading on a lower time frame, this will of course happen. So you have two ways to go about it. One, trade on the higher time frame, right, using confirmations, maybe the 4 hours. Otherwise, refine this entire weekly POI, and let's just do that. We go to the daily time frame and we understand that this is a demand, right? That's the first thing. The second is this could be a potential POI as well, right? So based on the looks of this, may not look like it's a very nice demand, right? Because most of the traders will be looking at this extreme. That is not wrong, but ask yourself, how did this demand occur? Look left. This is a sell to buy or buy to sell, right? So can you see the interaction between supply and demand at this level? Prices, text in, reacts, breakout. Okay, so let's go down to lower time frame. It should be cleaner. Otherwise, let's stay on the daily as well. So true enough, we have a supply here. Prices, text in, reacted, and breakout. Okay, so at this time frame, it has been mitigated. Doesn't matter. On the daily time frame, this is a reaction point. Definitely valid. So we do not just place buys like this, right? All of us should know this by now. We are going to wait for confirmation. Our entry model over here and over here. So all of these are the same. And of course, you have to use the 50% of the level. This would be your discounted price. And can you see that both POIs are beneath the 50%? So yes, we are waiting for a break and then a pullback before going for buys. So when prices breaks out of this level, we may see a rally up. Okay, you can use the lower time frame to catch moves inside because we are in the extended range. It's fine. But if you want to price in at a better level, then this is what you're looking for. And this may take a while, of course. Okay. So now weekly time frame, again, looking to run this liquidity towards the upside. Yes. And of course, we sweep the highs. We took out lows. And this is a supply area. Whether or not it turns from here is another thing, but we can target over here. So next up, we have the Euro Pound, and I want you to look at this. First, we have a demand. Prices tags in, reacts, before breaks down. Can you see this is the breakdown? So immediately your range should be this. This is your sell range. Okay. So let's go down to the lower time frame, or we can use the entire weekly actually. This is the weekly or the block. You can use the 50% and refine this area into this supply, right? And then prices tags in, go down to the 4 hour time frame. Look for what? Look for a shift. So this is the sweep. Okay, at this point of time, this is the sweep, and then we're gonna see a breakdown. Didn't happen. It continues to move higher. Sweep, breaks. Okay, so this is the break. So right of this movement, we have 3 areas to sell from. First, we have this. So I wouldn't recommend the sell from here because the break of structure happens where? Here. So technically speaking, on the sell here and here, right? So yes, maybe we will see a temporary move down before prices starts to hit higher. This is my supply that I'm looking for. And of course, I'll play another supply zone, maybe on the 6 hours. Like this. This is valid for me as well. So both of these are the POIs that I'm looking to sell from. And of course, we can refine this even more. We can use the 1 hour or 2 hours, maybe, like this. So both are valid POIs for sales. And I'm going to look for a 15M shift and a change of character inside of here. So then again, 15M shift, take sales, 15M shift, take sales. Okay, so if you're fine and comfortable with playing the extreme limit orders, then this can simply be your limit order. And of course, you can refine this towards the last spin bar like this, and simply play the stream like this. Right, this is fair enough as well. Because once prices tags in and it reacts, this reaction may easily give you 1:2 or 3 or 4. Okay, and it depends on how aggressive you are managing your positions. Otherwise, you understand that we are always going down to the lower time frame to look for the 3-step process. So over here, we have the Euro Yen, and you can see prices just broke this level, right? This is a weak break. And based on this, we can actually buy from this level and also over here. Okay, so to position yourself in the best price, you want to buy here, right? You're going to use the 50% and realize that this may just give you a reaction to go lower. Okay, so now this is on the weekly time frame. This reaction over here that you are playing with is easily 200 pips or so. I mean, this is just a rough gauge, but you understand the fact that this is on the weekly time frame. If you were to go down to the 15 minutes time frame, this is a huge zone to play with. Okay, a bounce of this level is going to give you lots of movement, okay, on the 15 minutes time frame. For example, like this. Okay, this is easily, based on the 15M range, I would say 1:5, 1:10, whatsoever. Okay. So on the weekly time frame, this is what we are looking at currently. We have this huge impulse. Of course, our demand areas will be this, and of course over here as well. So best price, obviously over here, below 50%. And I would look to position myself to be a buyer here. So what do we expect for Euro Yen if that's the case? We expect some sort of rejection from here. Let's play the daily, and we can actually buy up into this last point. So this sets the range. Right now we are in the push phase, and I'm looking to actually buy into this supply. So can you take a look at this? This is the break. We have a demand here. We also have another demand here, and we could have a demand here. All of these are buy areas. So just formulate the 3-step process to go up. So now we have the euro dollar, and we are still breaking towards the upside. Can you see this is the latest break? So this is the low that caused the high. So we are still bullish until this has been broken. Liquidity, we are definitely going to see the run into all of this for sure. So if you have positioned yourself to be a seller here, then good for you. Right? There are so many entry models inside of here, and we'll not go through that now. So now if prices breaks down, you can of course take sells here to look for sell into a demand. So if I were to take a demand area, this would be my demand area, right? Because we still broke structure towards the upside, and I'm still expecting buys at least into this liquidity pool. Can you see this over here? So yes, short term, if prices breaks this level, we are going sells from here. Selling into this demand, shift, and this could potentially run into this liquidity pool. right? Then we tap into some sort of supply here or here if it decides to go down from here. Otherwise, we should see this grab liquidity towards the upside because we are still bullish in this leg. So next we have the pound yen. We have the breakout structure here. We have a mitigation at this level. We took out highs. So technically we should see an upside move. Okay, so let's go down to the lower time frame to see what happens. So on the 15 minutes, as prices sweeps this area, we took out lows. Can you see this high, low, high? Took out low, mitigation. So if we see another breakdown, then this is bearish order flow, and we should expect this demand to not hold. Why? Because ultimately this demand should create a run out of this. Right? We should see a run that breaks this level. So yes, we can look at this framework as a buy, and then wait for a pullback for a move upside. But if this is bearish order flow over here, then we want to see this fracture of bearish order flow. Right now we have highs, lows, highs, we take out low, we have a mitigation, we're going to expect a break, another mitigation, and this should continue to happen. And this should deliver bearishly until we see a break and a fracture of order flow, pullback, then this should run towards this point and this point. Over here we have pound dollar, we sweep or broke the downside, we broke the top side, right? So we have this in terms of swing structure, taps in, mitigation, sweep, right? We sweep these lows, we respected the supply, then broke upside. Okay, so technically speaking, this should create high because this is the push phase. Okay, so now traders may be thinking this demand failed to create high, therefore we should see a run towards the low. This may be true from here as well because this broke structure, this demand should create high. Failed to do so, that's why this gets ran. So now what I want to see over here is I want to see prices shifting here again because this is bearish. I want to see prices tap into this, right, as a flip zone because prices taps into supply, failed to create low. Taps into supply, failed to create low, breaks up. This is my flip entry. I want to see realignment here. The shift, pullback, buy up. Right, or liquidity trend line. Ultimately, understanding the fact that we broke structure here, we made an upside move, I am still expecting prices to run here. So this framework may not hold, right? We may not see this holding at all. Maybe prices wants to go lower into this demand here. Okay, so everything over here is liquidity generation, right? This maybe here also, there are some sort of liquidity along the way. Then the shift happens. This is possible. But right now, as of current context, this is definitely low, high, low, breakout, flip zone, demand. I want to see a realignment to go higher. Next, NU, not really nice. You can see this is just sideways movement. I'm expecting a breakout on either side. So let's say we see a break towards the downside, then I will just take sells from extreme. This is possible as well. So follow my movement. Failed to create high, breakdown. You can take sells here. Okay. Otherwise, if prices were to just break down from here, you can wait for a move up that sweeps this before selling. And you want to sell into this area. Okay. So this is a potential buy area, which means to say that if prices breaks this level, we can expect sells into here before the buy up. And if this demand fails, right, this fails to create high, becomes a flip. Sell here, and now this should be a sell into this framework. Can you see this? This is the new framework or the higher time frame swing. Then you want to look for buys somewhere here or here, right? So let's go down to the low time frame. 4 hours, 1 hour. Like this. I think this is still a valid area to buy from. Okay, if to view structures like this, I think this is a higher time frame. Yep, this is a 4 hour structure. Can you see? So technically, we can expect short-term sells if this level fails to go lower, then go higher, because the larger time frame is like this. This is the movement. So you can expect a buy to go higher. So yes, prices can give you some sort of reaction here, but this reaction may just be a move to take prices lower, then go higher. So expect movements like this. This may not happen, but if it happens, according to your analysis, you have to take it every single time. Over here, we have the dollar Canadian. We have a demand here. So I want to see reaction of this demand. So right now, this is already a reaction. So the truth is that if prices breaks this level, I'm going to sell here. I'm going to use the 3-step process over here. I have a break of this level. I have a supply area. I want to look for a 15M shift, pull back, get entry. So there are so many entries you can take over here. If you are conservative, you understand that you want to see prices mix what? Lower high, lower low, then take sells. If you want to see the risk entry, you can take this. The moment it shifts, you take sells. This is valid as well. You can also use this shift, POI, 1M, take sells. Or wait for order flow on the 1M. Another break, another mitigation, another sweep, you take sells. All of these are possible entry criteria. You can even use flip zone. There are so many ways to get involved. To understand what POI are you working with. So previously I went through this with the students, and you can see this is a demand area. We went down to the 15M and we caught this buy, right? We swept the lows, we broke higher. We actually had an entry model here. So if you're a 15M trader, this would have been the perfect entry for you and should have ran 1:10 or 1:2.5 or whatnot. Okay, depends on how you refine them. So 1M refinement by means of these red zones, right? We will not go through them now. And of course, we have another entry model on the 1M. So understand the fact that on the 1M, you can get picked out, right? Prices, sweeps liquidity, broke structure. You are waiting for POI here. Didn't come back, broke higher. Fail to break the 15M high means that this demand is gonna fail, right? Prices came back down. I got a buy entry here. It stopped me out, then start to deliver higher. But at this point of time, I wanted to see a breakout of this level. Okay, didn't happen. Prices starts to create new lows. Can you see? High, low, high, right? Low, high, low. So now this is valid for me. If this low creates inside just like this, then this is not valid for me. But since prices creates a new low that is lower than this, then the high, then the low, chop, you could have gotten involved here. I didn't. I waited for mitigation play, a breakout, then I got involved here. Okay, stop loss beneath this level, target this as my TP1, and of course this as my TP2. So where are we in USDCHF? So we are at the supply here. This supply has the chances to go lower. So we're going to see the lower time frame distribution if it happens. So now on the 15M, we have a sweep, we have higher highs, higher low, right? We have created a low here, and this low is just a wick. So if you are using the change of character, this could have been your entry. And you can go down to the 1M to look for a shift to confirm this area, or wait for mitigation play to take sells, right? Running these lows. But you understand the fact that this is the bullish move, prices can still react from here to go higher. So understand where is your range. If you are to take sells here, your range for sells is going to be into this level. So you can expect a run up, then a breakdown. This could happen as well. So there are many ways you can take trades inside of here. Let me just remove all of this. Understanding the fact that, let me just remove this. Okay, so now this is a supply, this is the reaction, this is the demand. So think in terms of buying, right? Where do traders want to buy from? Here. So the truth is, you want to see this demand fail, then take sells. This is cleaner for sure. Understanding the fact that this is a H4 POI, and this POI is valid. Why? Because this POI broke structure. Can you see? Broke. Supply. This supply could take us lower. I want to see what? A 15M shift. And currently, yes, we sweep out high again. This is a sweep lower, right? High, low, high, take out low. Supply. You can get involved here if you want to. This is a risk entry. And of course, when market opens, you are going to see a strong movement. Likely, you're not going to get involved here anyway. So we're going to see a move higher, or wait for this to fail. This should be cleaner, right? A sweep higher, a breakdown, supply, get involved here. Otherwise, wait for demand to fail. Breakdown, clear the low. As much as possible, clear this low, flip, entry. Next up, UJ, we have an entire framework here. Okay, so we broke this level. Of course, we have a demand here. So this demand should create high. So what can you expect? Right, if prices fail to create high, okay, you can wait for the breakdown, then trade the flip zone. This is one of the potential ways you can get involved in the market. But if you understand the fact that this demand should create high, and we start to see rejections here and a lower time frame shift in market structure, this hints to us that prices may want to follow from here, right? So we can actually get involved on the lower time frame inside of here to run the lows. So how do we do that? This is a demand, okay? The prices tags in. We are going down to the 15M. Okay, so first of all, 1 hour, all right, we have a sweep of the highs, and then we broke lower. So this becomes a supply. The prices tags into the entire open. Nothing shows us that it wants to go lower for now. So maybe this could still run higher into this deeper supply over here. So on the 15 minutes, I want to see what? I want to see a change of character. Right now, we do not see a change of character yet. Okay, so if we were to use the entire open, remember just now on the higher time frame we have this entire open, prices taps in. Where is the swing points? Low, high, low, high. We want to see this break. Then this tells me that prices failed to create high. Okay, and now at this point of time, we are still bullish. So this is turning bearish, it's fine. Alright, this turns bearish, we may run this low. Alright, so the truth is that yes, prices, sweeps, break, this is internal chop. Okay, we can actually trade this to run lower into maybe this over here. But can you see this demand failed to create high? This demand failed to push higher. So this is not valid. Right, we should run this demand here. And of course, look for buys maybe deeper here. This is valid as well. So we are still in a bullish phase. Can you see this over here? Even if this fails, we are still in a bullish swing. Right, and this is a lower time frame entry model to run into demand here, potentially go higher. This is the 15M swing points, right? So this is a supply that I expect prices to move into before switching bearish potentially. Okay, so if this demand breaks new high, then whatever that we tried to project over here will be false. Then what is our analysis? Break, right? Demand. So if this demand creates high, then we expect a break over here. Then of course we can look for pullback. We can use this as well, and then try to get involved on the 15M. Okay, breakdown. Yeah, we have to see what happens here first. Otherwise, if you want to catch sells, definitely possible. Wait for prices to tap into the extreme. Give you a 15M shift. This 15M shift could potentially tell you that prices failed to create high, and that's why we should be looking to turn from here. And this should run the lows and maybe tag into something here.